Hello guys, what's up? So today, as promised, I'll teach you how to parse or decrypt prefetch files. Are you ready? Let's get started. Okay, as mentioned, you cannot really see the default values or contents of a prefetch file because they are encrypted by default. So I'll show you again the example we had in the previous video, like this. Notice the SBC hosted.exe prefetch file is encrypted. It's all garbled, so you cannot really make sense of any of those. So with that, there's a need to really use a prefetch parser or decryptor in order to understand the contents. Okay, so one of the best parser out there is made by a science instructor named Eric Zimmerman. So here I'll introduce you to his page, which hosted all his forensic tools. But today we'll only cover really the PECMD.exe. So this one, which is already in version 1.4, called Prefetch Parser. So it's very easy. So first, you just have to download it. So I already downloaded it in my virtual machine. Then you just have to extract the contents using the 7-zip, extract to, and then once you have that, it will already be in. Okay, let's extract first. So once you have that extracted, you'll have a folder called PECMD here in the downloads, then PECMD folder. So that's all there is in setting this up. This is actually a portable executable binary, so no need to install or whatsoever. No need for Python knowledge or any other technical know-how. So we just need to know how to download and extract. So that's all there's to it. Pretty easy, right? So once you have that, it's time now to open a elevated command prompt. So I already have here. So when you say elevated command prompt, it's the same as doing a run as admin. So for example here, just do a run as admin. The reason being is that you cannot really access the C Windows Prefetch folder using ordinary users because it is permitted only to a administrator or system level account because it's a component of Windows operating system. So normal users can't really access it by default. Okay, so once we have this, so to use this, simply browse on the executable path of the PECMD. So to do that, I'll just copy here the directory to make it simpler. Yeah, right click, copy, and then simply browse to that directory. CD, then right click. By pressing right click, it will automatically copy the contents of the clipboard. Then press enter. Notice I'm already in the downloads PECMD directory. And then to use the PECMD, we can do a PECMD first to show the help page. Okay, so I'll just zoom this a bit for you to see. So the help page contains the description of the program, the version, and really the syntax, the switch options. So for example, if you do -d, it will process a directory. If you do a -f, it will process only a single prefetch file. And then you have here the output format. You can output in a JSON or CSV, CSV or HTML. And below, there's really an sample usage to guide you altogether. But for this one, I'll be demoing a real example so that you could follow and practice on your own later. Okay, let's start. So let's pick an example, a sample executable prefetch file here. So let's take the background task host. I'll just copy the file name. Okay, let's go back. So to use this, we'll demo viewing a single prefetch file first. So to do that, simply type this command, pecmd.exe. If you press tab, it will auto complete the command. It auto resolve. So for example, I press, so this is really out of scope, but just a tip to those who are new to command line. If you press tab, it will auto resolve the executable on that certain directory. Okay, and then -f, then right click. Oh, sorry, it's actually in the C -f. The actual directory of the prefetch is C Windows Prefetch, then there. Okay, press enter. It will now parse the contents of that prefetch file. There you have it. It's pretty easy, right? And as I've discussed in my earlier videos, you can now read the contents of this prefetch. So for this background task host.exe, you can see here that it has been run 46 times. Here's the last run, the other run count, the volume information, directory's reference, the file's reference. And below you can also see how fast it was parsed by the tool. Pretty handy tool if you ask me. So, and then if you want to output it to a JSON format, which is very useful when sending to a third-party system, like consumption of logs for SIEM or other log aggregator, it's very useful to output it to a JSON format. So let's show the example again. So if you will go to the help, this is how you do it. So to recall the last command, I will just simply press up or down, and you could check the recent run command line to be exact. So we'll just change a few parameters here to output it to a JSON format. So we already have here, and we'll just add --JSON, and then I already prepared here a directory for the output, for the JSON output. So we'll dump it here, G folder, and then JSON out. So let's use G JSON out, and then --JSON query. There you go. Then just press enter. Okay, as you can see here, the JSON output was already saved on this directory and that JSON file. So let's go there. Yeah, see, it has created a new file. Okay, so to view this, simply you can view this using a browser or a Notepad++. So let's use the Google Chrome for this. There you have it. This is the JSON output. So if you're familiar with the JSON output, this is actually an output using a key value pair. So which makes it very useful for the third-party systems consumption like SIEM or the like. So here, if you search the background task, this is the actual executable. So there, it's a key value pair. So for example, here on you have the source file name and the value. You have the source created and the value. So it's really a key. So the key is the field containing the relevant info, and then the value. So that's what JSON is all about. It's not that really complicated. And then for last one, I will show you what if you want to parse all the contents of the Prefetch folder. So for example, you really want to thorough investigate a machine, and you really want to grab all the Prefetch and view all the contents of those Prefetch files. For example, here we have 247 files, but not really all here are .pf. So if we'll just count the .pf file, okay, let's do that. Okay, I'll just count the pf file. So here we have here 231 files. So if we want to parse them all together all at once, so this is how to do it. So I'll show you the help again. So here's the help. So instead of using -f, we'll use -d. So remember the recall command. So just press up, and then I'll just change a few parameters. So if we want the whole folder, we will not specify a certain prefetch file. Then we'll change this to D. Okay. Okay. Just use close it and double quotation. And then, actually, to really reuse the output, we'll use a redirect. We'll redirect it to a file in order for us to make it reusable, so we don't have to rerun the command whenever we want to view those Prefetch files. So this is really useful to have this knowledge. So the meaning of the redirect is it will output a file to this path and certain file that we have specified. So we'll just do all Prefetch file out that text. That's all there is to it. Then press enter. Oh, it's done. Then if we'll check the output, let's go to that directory. So here we go, just sort it, and it's here, it's done. So if we'll open it, you can see here the parse output of all the Prefetch files inside the Prefetch folder. So here, as mentioned before, we have 230 plus Prefetch files inside the Prefetch folder. And as you can see here, this is the contents of all those Prefetch files. So for example, we have here this one, the 1_ndp for so on.exe. So then the next Prefetch, we have the 7g.exe. So very useful stuff. So next we have another 7g, and so forth and so on. And below you can see the actual execution time. So it was able to parse 231 Prefetch files in just under 14 seconds. Okay, how cool is that? Okay guys, that's about it. Happy forensicating, and until the next video.